How do you approach a cold call? A cold call. How do you approach it?
All right. So it'll be, hi, my name is Reza. I'm calling from X company, blah, blah. The moment, see, a person who I'm calling, I know I've qualified him already in my mind. I know that he's into luxury travel. So I will ask him that, I'm calling from X. I do private jet charters and premier lifestyle experiences. Maybe if it's a gatekeeper, so gatekeeper, like it's a secretary or somebody, his travel coordinator or someone. They're like, okay, send us your profile. All right, great, I'll do that. So I'll do that after the cold call. 24 hours later, I'm gonna follow up with an email. I don't have to be annoying.
Yeah.
A small, simple email of acknowledgement, done. 7 days later, I'll follow up with a call. Or else, 11 to 18 days later, I'll call again. Why? The person possibly not interested, possibly forgot about my email because they're very busy.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to understand them. I'll call. Why 11 to 18 days? So I'm just going away from their mind. And when I call back, so I'm not annoying anymore. Right?
Yeah.
And I can lead the conversation that, oh, yes, we had spoken last week. Since you fly, I provide these services. It would be great to have a chance to step in and assist with your next flight.
Yeah, as usual, the video you're going to watch is with Mr. Rex, the private aviation guy. We've done a video before, and a lot of you commented about his looks, but today I guarantee you that you don't need to miss this video. Today's video, he dished out a lot of nuggets. I was just speechless listening to him. He gave some tips about people that are into business but they cannot keep a client, or how to poach a client. Everything I just did. Today's video is 100% guaranteed that you need to watch. I assure you that when you watch and everything you're going to take out from this video, please comment below. I need you to engage on this video. Let others, maybe, there are people that when they start video, within 2-3 seconds, they go at the comment section without watching that video. Please make sure that you drop what you get from this video at the comment section, and see you next on Vic Influential. Thank you. Welcome to Vic Influential again. Today we are so pumped to get our usual vintage guest. That's the way I describe him, as a vintage guest. So you are going to see him and also recognize what I'm talking about. Today we have Mr. Rex in our mix. Last time we had a conversation, we talked about luxury, because he's into luxury. And today we are going to get a big knowledge from him also on the luxury aspect. So Mr. Rex.
Thank you so much for having me, Vic. It's a pleasure again to be here.
Yes.
And yeah, like you said, so today we'll explore a bit more about the type of aircrafts, and try to educate our audience a little bit more about the technical side of things, how the pricing works, how the aircrafts work for different missions.
Yes.
So let's do this.
Last time was explosive. Did you feel last time? Yeah.
I think it was pretty good.
Because so many people was commenting on my TikTok, who is that guy? Who is that guy? This. So many people likes your style. During on the shot that I did, they always talk about your style. I guess they didn't hear even what we said. They didn't hear. They were just.
I hope they heard me.
Yeah, that guy's style. I like that guy. I said, okay, more of him you're going to get. And please try to listen. Don't just see his look and the styles. Try to listen to the message he's trying to pass across, please, guys. Okay. So how has it been since the last time?
Since the last time, it's been nice. It's been busy. Lots of research, because aviation is something that's always changing. There's sanctions coming up, travel restrictions, things keep moving around. Some airspaces are opening up. Some people are trying to fly back. Like, for example, the situation in the Middle East has calmed down a little bit. So people are flying in and out of Syria after so long. Qatar Airways did a flight after 11 years to Syria.
Wow.
Yeah. So things, in aviation, it's just so dynamic. Things keep changing all the time.
So I didn't know there was a restriction on Syria.
Unfortunately, due to various reasons, there was war risk insurance due to the instability of the region. There was certain issues going on, but now things are starting to clear out. And the airspace was always open.
Okay.
The only thing was not everybody was willing to operate in, like, to take their aircraft over there. Because these units cost millions of dollars, and God forbid something happens. So
Okay, that is good. And today I am pumped because I know that we are going to learn a big deal from you. For our guests or for our audience that are into luxury, I just hope they are having popcorn right now because this today is going to be enjoyable, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, today is going to be enjoyable. So let me just start with asking the question right away. So can you tell us what makes aircraft suitable for a charter?
All right. So we need to understand when we get a request, what is it for? Is it a luxury charter? Is it a group? Is it a cargo? Is it a medical evac? So first we identify what the mission is, and then accordingly, then you advise the client. Let's say if it's just small people of young, let's say young boys, small group, they want to do a small interstate charter, or like within the country. Like, for example, USA is very big, Australia is quite big. So these countries, there's a lot of charters happening within from one state to the other. So and it's fairly cheap that way, because if we break it down seat wise, so a small aircraft, let's say a Citation, a light jet, 6 to 8 people on board, that will cost them anywhere between $3,500 to $5,000 per hour. And if the flight is just 2 hours, that suddenly that breakdown becomes very affordable if it's split across. Then we have luxury charters, of course, then where people who want to fly, even if it's a shorter distance, they want to fly in luxury, so they will get a slightly bigger aircraft. They might get a mid-sized jet, a Hawker 800. They might get a heavy jet, a Challenger 350. Or, for example, in the Middle East, we don't really have small jets. It's only recently that we started having, how can I say, super light jets and mid-sized jets. Before that, all the jets were heavy jets. So it was 10 to 14 people capacity and higher. So that's another reason why charters in the Middle East are expensive. But it's only now, because the Middle East has opened up a lot. There's a lot of more people who want to experience charters. So the operators have started to bring in slightly smaller jets. So it becomes, luxury travel is not out of reach.
But the guests get to choose the aircraft?
Yes, definitely. So there are many clients who are very specific. They will say that, we need X jet. We need a Gulfstream. We need a Bombardier Global 5000, or we need a G550. And they can be very specific. Some people love traveling in a Falcon. So it all depends, and some people are not that specific. They just want a means of transport. For them, it's just another means of transport. Some are very specific, that they want only, let's say, an aircraft not older than 2019.
People with so much experience.
Yes, of course. They are the ones who, when a client comes up to you and he's that specific, that they are regular flyers. They know what they're talking about. And those are the ones who are most easier to work with, because they understand the technicalities behind hiring a jet. So coming back to the point, of course, we identified the need. There might be a cargo need. There might be a medical evac. So there are certain operators in the market. We get in touch with them to arrange whatever is the requirement of the client. Simple.
But evac is always with a heavy jet, right?
Not necessarily, but yes, sometimes a heavy jet. Mostly the most famous model for medical evacs is a Learjet X60, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's a few Hawkers, which are quite famous for medical evacs. Then, of course, we have some heavy jets. Because in a medical evac, usually it's shorter distance. It's very rare that a medical evac is intercontinental or transatlantic, you know. Usually they will be from where, let's say, Malaysia to Singapore, or Dubai to India, or Turkey to Dubai. So a Hawker is very good.
Yeah.
It's because it's efficient, it's a quick aircraft, and it has basics. It has up to 8 people capacity. So and these medical evac aircrafts, they're equipped with ICU facilities. You can have an oxygen tank on it. There'll be a doctor on board. You might have a nurse or somebody on board along with the patient, and if somebody's accompanying the patient.
That one is for individuals or for government officials? Or military, maybe?
Well, it depends on the situation. Like, for example, if it's government officials, they have their own protocol.
So individuals can hire this also?
Yes, individuals. Very often individuals hire. I work with a few hospitals in Dubai, and they bring their patients from Germany, from various parts of Europe to Dubai for treatment. Similarly, while I was working with operators in Southeast Asia, it was very regular to get medical evacs from India to Singapore, from Sri Lanka or from Malaysia, Indonesia to Singapore for medical purposes. So it's a very common thing in that region.
And there are also this thing people do, like when they have somebody who's late and they want to fly the person to their country. Something like that also happens.
So if a person has passed away, we call it a cadaver, like the remains of the person.
Cadaver.
Yes. And there are certain operators here based in the UAE as well, in India, and in various parts. There are certain operators who do this specifically. You just need to obviously tell them, well, it's the remains of a loved one, and it can be taken away wherever they want to be, maybe cremated or buried. So yeah, that's
there is this aircraft that sounds very nice. Can you tell us about Gulfstream? I always hear about Gulfstream.
Gulfstreams are a phenomenon. Like they're known to be the Rolls-Royce of aircrafts. Because of the sheer avionics and the comfort and the efficiencies, the speed, how the cabin interiors are. It's not that one is lesser than the other. Like, for example, a Bentley is very beautiful as well as a Rolls-Royce. But a Rolls-Royce is a Rolls-Royce. So these things matter a lot. Gulfstreams are very, very beautiful. A lot of the people who fly, they do prefer. And it's also become a brand. And once something becomes a brand, the name...
I always hear about Gulfstream.
Yeah.
Like,
they're quite famous. In the elite circles, yes, they are very famous.
Yeah, like when you hear about Donald Trump, he's taking his Gulfstream.
Yes.
I always hear about...
Not just Donald Trump. I'll tell you a few people who own Gulfstreams. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of them. Johnny Depp has one of them. Pierce Brosnan owns one. There's a lot of the actors in the not just the Bollywood or Hollywood industry, but in general, people who have
It's an elite aircraft.
Yes. Like you can have a Bombardier. It's beautiful. A Global 7500. It's amazing. It's one of the aircrafts with the longest cabin, so it's very spacious. However, people would still go for a G650 or G700. So yeah.
For people who do not really know about this, can you just tell us the difference in this aircraft and their categories?
Okay, fine. So these are, so let's say a G700 or G650. These are ultra long range aircrafts. They can fly up to 12 hours plus. So if we're flying from here to, let's say, Australia, it can probably do it in one go. 17 hours, 18-hour flight, it can cover in one distance, in one, without any technical stops. So ultra long range, that's why they're known as ultra long range jets. So they can fly 7,500 miles without stopping. That's a lot. So it's like covering one end of the world. Well, if not one end to the other, but almost half of it.
17 hours flight is quite long.
Yes. So, but again, having said that, there's not many aircrafts, it comes down to certain technical aspects. Like, for example, winds, headwinds can matter. Headwinds can matter. How much weight is on board? If it's just a standard family of 4, 6 friends, 10 friends flying from A to B on the basic requirements and technicalities of the aircraft, it can cover the distance very easily. Ultra long range, there's a reason for it. Then there are certain aircrafts also you'll find ER in front of them. Global Express ER, extended range. Yeah, extended range. So they let's just say it's a basic aircraft with extended range. So it's the same aircraft with extended range. It can fly longer. So it can cover more distance.
And this one is cost mostly like per hour. It's just the same price.
It honestly, it depends. The pricing depends. So, for example, if it's a light jet, a light jet can cost you anywhere between $3,500 to $5,000 per hour, depending on the operator. There's a lot of things that go behind pricing, mind you.
Okay.
So we're looking at a light jet, $3,500 to $5,000 per hour.
Yeah.
An ultra long range can cost us between $15,000 to $18,000. An ACJ or a BBJ, like an Airbus corporate jet or a Boeing business jet, can cost even higher because of the sheer operational expense going behind it. Second thing which we need to keep in mind is the costing comes through how there's operations involved, there's fuel involved, there is handling involved, there is permits involved. Certain parts of Europe, certain countries, they have a luxury tax up to almost 1,500 euros per person.
Luxury tax.
Luxury tax, yes. So we don't have that in the UAE. In the Middle East.
If somebody book a flight, or is it for every private jet, or if it's luxury?
Every private jet.
Yeah.
Private jet itself is luxury.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So within those certain countries in Europe, if you're going to certain cities specifically, there's a luxury tax involved. And that's per person. It's not like all inclusive. It's per person.
So if there is like 10 people in that flight,
all of them are paying luxury tax.
They're going to get up to 15 or 20,000
just in taxes. Yeah, just in taxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really for luxury.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And see, but people, when they're at that level of, how can I say, wealth, or at that level of comfort, to them it doesn't really.
Nothing.
Yeah. To them it's nothing. To them it's just for them it's as, to keep it more relevant, to them it's as simple as booking a taxi and going from A to B. For example, if you're in London, now they're going to implement that in UAE as well. Congestion charges. So during peak hours, if you hit central London, if you want to go to downtown, let's say, there are certain charges you have to pay extra. Similarly, that's how they try. It's more of the sustainability thing and control traffic. So that's how they're trying to do it in the aviation field as well. So if you're going to certain places, you have to pay luxury tax.
Because there is something they are losing during that congestion time.
Because it's higher traffic. See, these airports who have these certain things implemented, these are busy airports.
Okay.
Either they're busy airports or they're involved into sustainability, which is the future. It was just a talk up until recently, but now sustainability has become something. You have to do carbon offset, do something because if you're causing some damage, you have to mitigate that somehow. And everybody is getting into it a lot now, and it's for the better, I suppose. It's for the better at the end of the day.
If all these things are going to be implemented in a flight charter, what determines the price? What determines the price of a chartered flight?
Okay, fine. So let's give you a small example from Dubai to London.
Yeah.
Very famous route. People fly to England all the time. A charter would cost you anywhere between $75,000 upwards.
$75,000.
Yes.
From UAE?
From Dubai to London.
Okay.
Now, within London, you cannot land. Well, you can land at Heathrow as well, but it would be higher because you probably wouldn't get slots because Heathrow is a very busy airport. So then people fly to Farnborough, Luton, or South London, Biggin Hill. So another thing why people prefer private aviation, private jets, is because there's more accessibility. You're not limited to using a certain airport. And then number two is, of course, slightly more operationally feasible, as in slightly cheaper. It's more ease of access, lesser traffic. For example, if you want to land in DXB, Dubai, you can land. But if you land in DWC, the difference can be up to $10,000.
Where is DWC?
The Dubai World Central,
Okay.
Al Maktoum Airport.
Okay.
So if you land over
Is
there,
Al Maktoum ready?
yes, sir, it's ready. It's up and running, and very, very soon it'll be the largest airport in the world. It'll be the busiest airport in the world. We're looking at, I think, 2037 or 2040. We will no longer have Terminal 1, Terminal 3, Terminal 2 in the center of the city. It'll all move towards Dubai South.
Wow, that's a massive project.
Yes, it is.
I thought it was still under construction.
No. It's not a very busy airport. It's gotten busy over the years. However, initially it used to be majorly for cargo and for very budget airlines. They used to land over there, and then it was already in the plans to make that the central airport. And now, as UAE is growing, we've got a lot of traffic, a lot of business opportunities, a lot of expats coming into this country. So yeah, definitely. So they're going to move the entire airport to Dubai South.
But sometimes pricing fluctuates, right?
It depends. It's not similar to commercial airlines. Like in commercial, it depends on the season, right? For example, if it's, let's say, New Year's, flights will be very expensive, right? In private jets, it doesn't fluctuate as much. However, it can sometimes. Like, for example, let's say New Year coming up. Aircrafts will be busy. People will be flying. However, they would not mark up crazy amounts. It would still be reasonable. So private jets, it does not fluctuate as much as it does in commercial. So yeah.
Well, last time you said you have up to 20,000 aircraft that you operate with.
We have, yes, definitely have access to almost 15 to 20,000 aircraft. That means in the entire fleets of operators, because we've worked with them over the years.
Yeah.
So naturally, like for example, if I work with you and I work with two of your friends, so I have access to your aircrafts, and you'd be more than happy to sort of work with me because you've seen my payment behaviors. A comfort level, a bond develops, a professional business bond develops. There's a comfort level which develops, and then you just feel more comfortable working with your current vendors or customers, because when you already have a relation with one person while you're working, and then when you move to a new person, you sort of have to develop that relation from scratch again. Takes time, takes understanding. So if you're already working with them, it just gives you that ease of access.
It looks like you go extra lengths to your clients to satisfy your clients.
I try to, definitely.
But do they notice it?
Yeah, they do, because you curate those experiences for them. So let's suppose somebody wants to fly from A to B, and they get onto the aircraft and they find a small little personalized gift for them. It doesn't take too much, right? But that little gesture goes a very long way. I have had clients who've said this to me. Oh, Rez, you didn't need to do this. I'm like, yeah, I know I didn't need to, but I wanted to. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I've gone down to the FBO in the middle of the night to just see off a client. And they told me, they're like, oh, no, Rez, like, we appreciate it's a weekend. And I was like, you didn't need to be here. I'm like, no, it's all right. Because see, that little, to me, what was it? It was just a 45-minute drive, right?
Yeah.
That helped
develop building relationship with your clients. Yeah.
You have to. It's part of building relations. The more this industry works on relationship building, the better the relationships are, the more comfortable your clients are working with you. Not just the client aspect, the operator aspect, your supplier. Who is my supplier? as a broker, who is my supplier? The operator. The aircraft owner is my supplier.
Yeah.
Who is my client? The guy who ends up using
Yeah.
these services. So I need to have relations on both ends.
Yeah.
And once I have that sorted, magic happens.
But I thought the aircraft owner or the aircraft company will always want their aircraft to be busy.
Oh, yes. Because if an aircraft is standing, that is a hole in the pocket. That's why if you want, we give the suggestion to people who sometimes say they want to make revenue off an aircraft. They want to buy an aircraft and they want to make revenue off it. You have to make sure it's always in the air. Because the maintenance cost and everything, because if it's standing, it's losing money. Yeah. So the more it's in the air, the better. So that's why that's why people work with very professional ground handlers, because they have turnaround time. Land, water, lavatory services done, cleaning of the aircraft, turnaround, takeoff.
But this also gets to do with every business, creating personal relationship with your client, your guest, whoever that person is, right?
Without a doubt.
And sometimes when they're just coming in, they will just, okay, rest, I'm going to be in town. You know, just all those, you develop a casual relationship on how to, you're no longer going to talk to the person like a client.
I'll tell you a small story. One of my very close clients who became a friend, he is one of the richest gentlemen from a lovely place called Comoros, from the island of Comoros. He was in town just for a few hours. I had a busy schedule. He had a busy schedule. You make sure you make time, even if it's courtesy's sake, 20 minutes, you go down, say a hello, sit down, have a coffee, and you see each other off. So you do that. I could have told him that, I won't be able to see you. Or he could have done the same. But it's because we've developed that relation over time.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, you know what, Rez, I'll be at X location at this time because my next meeting is here. If a possibility, we'll catch up. I made sure that I designed my day in a way that my meetings were somewhere in the vicinity where I could, catch up with him as well.
And so long as you have a business, it doesn't matter how big that business is. You have to make a time for your guest if you really want that business to grow.
It has to be long-term.
And to be sustainable.
Yes. It has to be long-term.
Yeah.
It has to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So that can only happen through relationship building. So there's a lot of people in the market who will sort of, it happens in every business, right? They'll try to charge you so much, unreasonably high,
so
to get that one shot. To make that money off one shot.
Yeah.
However, my approach is very conservative approach. So I believe in a stream of water than a tsunami in one time.
Yes.
So I go into the long haul, into the long race.
Yeah.
So you charge what is reasonable. Be competitive in the market because you can't be cheap. After all, I am providing my services. I'm providing my expertise. I'm assisting.
Yes.
So I charge what is correct. They know that it's correct. They feel comfortable. They know that they're not being ripped off.
Yes.
All right. And many times it has happened that I've had other brokers reach out to me and tell me that, how have you managed to price it so aggressively? And so relationship building comes into play because I've had good relations with the operator. I managed to give a slightly better price, And similarly with the clients. So you build a relation. The more comfortable they feel, the more word of mouth gets out, the more business you generate. What if I start pricing people extremely high? I'll be known as an unreasonable broker. Correct? Nobody wants to work with me.
You want to get rich off a client.
Yeah, they just want to get rich off the client. And there's so much technical behind it that, many people, they don't look into it before quoting a client. What they'll do is they don't know the weather of the region. They don't know the airport technicality. They will not know various things. And they'll, oh, yes. They will overcommit and underdeliver. I like to do it slightly differently. I'll undercommit and I'll overdeliver. So if there's certain airports with some technical issues, not issues, it's the technical restrictions. So, for example, there's an airport in Austria, small runway, not every aircraft can land. Weather is usually very bad. So, there are so many things you need to keep in mind. So, you need to have a contingency plan of an alternate airport. Okay, educate the client that these are the possible factors we can face. We might have to land at a different airport if the weather is not good. So you need to do your due diligence on the route, on the aircraft. On, I will not say that yes, it's this aircraft, you can take as many luggage as you want. It has happened. Certain experiences. Clients come to the airport, and now the broker's phone is switched off, and now the client is left with 10 luggage or 5 luggage lying on the VIP terminal, which has to be obviously later on sent to them somehow. But see, that's wrong. You cannot provide misinformation to people at that level. You have to have transparency. You need to own up if you've made a mistake, own up to it. But in this field, or in any field, I would say, the margin of error should be as low as possible. You cannot provide misinformation. Do not commit wrong things. Because then what happens is it destroys the experience. Maybe the next time he will not feel so comfortable working with any broker for that matter. And he'll be like, oh my God, that thing will always remain in his mind that, is this the right information? Is this that hesitance, that reluctancy creeps in. So from my end, I try to educate the client through and through. I'll tell them that X, Y, Z, these are the possibilities, these are the probabilities, and this is what we're going to do. So you give them the solution, right?
Yeah.
You tell them that, okay, fine, this is the aircraft which can do this operation in this time, this is the luggage it can carry, and these are the technicals behind it. So you give them the solution. Don't just sell the trip that, it's going to cost you $40,000. Everybody's doing that.
Yes,
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Give them the solution. Be the solution provider. Give them a contingency plan. Be like, okay, fine. For example, one of my clients, he was flying from Courchevel. They were in Courchevel. And then from Courchevel, they wanted to fly to London. What happened was Courchevel is a very technical airport, so not every aircraft can land over there. So from there, they took a car to Chambéry. From Chambéry, they flew to London. So you try to step in and provide solutions as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
So it's the more of a solution provider you are in today's time, the more your network grows, to be honest.
Yeah, but dealing with all these things also, does it have anything to do with permit? Is there any permit that you will get that will not allow you to do all this?
Oh, well, permits are an essential part. Obviously, people don't, understand this. So landing permits, overfly permits. So let's say we're flying from Dubai to London.
Okay.
We have a few countries we need to fly over, right?
Yeah.
We need to get a permit to use their airspace. Number one. Okay. These permits, if it's we usually say we need like a 48-hour heads up, because then everything goes more streamlined. It's more smooth. However, permits can take up to 8 to 12 hours at the earliest, right?
Yeah.
And then there are certain countries, it takes 3 days. You can, for example, India is one of those.
No urgent flights.
There is no, you can, a medical evac might be possible.
Okay.
Those are urgent permits.
Okay.
Obviously, they're very sensible people as well, so they understand the urgency. But if it's a private flight, unless and until it's a diplomatic, see, when it's a diplomatic thing, 2 diplomatic agencies, they get involved. For example, the embassy here and the embassy there, the permits are different. But if it's just a civil flight, a luxury flight from here to India,
vacation or something like that.
Oh, I need to inform them beforehand. 72 hours. It will take 72 hours to get a permit. China, not easy to get permits. You need to inform them, provide them with all the information, documentation. It's just protocol. You need to respect protocol. It's that simple.
Flight color, flight tail number, everything you need to provide.
Those things, yes, the operator provides. The operator will provide aircraft details, what aircraft, like for example, there's something called Part 91 and Part 135. Part 91 flights, so if you own an aircraft and it's a non-revenue generating aircraft, that's Part 91. You can fly anywhere you want for personal use.
Okay. No permits.
You still have to get permits.
Okay.
But if somebody knows that you're generating revenue on the wrong license, that can cause you great issues.
Okay.
So permits are essential, yes. Landing permits are important. And obviously you get these permits. Once, if I'm coming to your house, I'm going to ask you that, do you have parking space for my car? You might say, no, Reza, I have other guests. They leave at 5:30. You can park at 5:45. It gets so detailed. Slots, landing permits, all of these things.
And they must leave at that time.
And you have to leave once. You can be parked for slightly longer than expected, but it's going to charge you.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the ground handling charges, because if it's standing, you're taking up space. Technically, you have to pay for it. You're taking up space. You have to pay for it.
Yeah. You mentioned China, right?
Yes.
So why do some countries get more stricter permits? Like it takes time to get their permits. Why is it only China?
It's just process. It's protocol. It's process. Everybody has their own due diligence. They do. Let's just say like getting a visa. Sometimes you get e-visas so quick, right? Sometimes you have to be there in person, present. It's just protocol. You have to respect protocol. Like some countries, for a visa, they call you in for an interview. Some places they don't care. There's no visa on arrival. So you have to just respect that.
So it's only China that takes time to get from.
There's India, there's China, there's few other countries. There's certain countries in Middle East, North Africa, not Middle East, so North Africa. So these are little difficult to get permits.
Is there any reason for that?
Security.
Just because of security?
Just security, protocol, security. They'll do their due diligence. They're happy with the documents provided. Please, there you go. There's your permit. No problem.
Yeah, even people you're using their airspace or just the country you're going to land?
The landing.
Okay.
And even airspace, for example. Airspace is slightly easier if you just want to overfly. Overfly is still doable. Landing is, because you're entering the country, you're landing there, you're staying there. So that is a bit more of a protocol. Also, overfly can be very tricky. For example, I'm flying from India. If I want to overfly Pakistan, that can become tricky because the political relations aren't very great.
I thought it's just a pilot need to identify, this is me, this is where I'm going. Do you need permit for that?
See, it depends. Like, for example, let's talk about Israel. Let's talk about Qatar. If there's a flight, now India and Israel have great relations, correct?
Yeah.
However, if I want to fly from India to Israel, I cannot fly over Qatar. Qatar will not give me its airspace. So I have to reroute, go around it. Because political reasons, they don't get along well, and it's fine. They say that if you're going there, please use another route.
Even commercial flights? Yes. I thought commercial flights can use anyway.
No, see, but you can't fly. So see, when even commercial flights, there are airways.
Yeah.
The same way we have roads, right?
Yes.
Similarly, there's airways.
Yeah.
There's different airways for different type of aircraft. If it's a 737, 747, 767, everybody flies on their roads, which are in the airways. So what happens is, if I know that I need to fly from A to B, Qatar is in the way. I'll probably go from the side. I'll be flying over Saudi. I'll be flying over Jordan, stuff like that.
This is a commercial flight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So the routes are decided. Commercial flights are like buses and metro. The routes are decided. They will fly on those set routes.
No, I get it. But I'm thinking that if a country is restricting another country of their airspace, it's just for military or maybe
it can be military as well.
I'm thinking it was just for military, not for commercial flights or
no, for
everything from that country is restricted.
Because it's just how it depends on geopolitics, right? It's political relations. If they're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. I understand it, but I was thinking it doesn't concern
no
commercial
No,
flights?
no, it's for everybody.
Oh,
For everybody.
okay.
And also another very interesting thing, if an aircraft is able to drop a payload, if it can open from the belly or like a helicopter, from a helicopter you can easily drop something off. It depends on the country if it will allow you to fly over it. Because they don't know, right? Well,
Right.
what if you, God forbid, drop a virus?
Okay,
So
okay.
it's all subject to approvals.
What is a code call?
A cold call. Oh, right. Okay, fine. So this is the bread and butter of people in sales. Yes, sir. So cold calling is technically when you reach out to. Yes, I understand it's one of the old school approaches. However, I still like to say.
There is something I want to ask you, but
Tell
first I
me.
want to understand what is code call before I ask you that question.
Cool. So cold call is technically when I sit down and I call out, I reach out to a client.
Okay.
Or a potential client.
Potential client.
Yes,
Okay.
a potential client, a potential customer, and I will pitch them what I do.
Old way of marketing.
Yes, the standard, the standard way that you reach out, you tell them who you are, what you do, and you need to grab their attention, right? You have like 3 to 5 seconds to do that.
A pitch. You give a pitch.
You have to really personalize it. Like I can't be selling apples to a person who likes mangoes. So you have to do your research, do your homework. So the moment you pick up the call, the connotation of voice, you need to gauge the energy. So now this is my personal approach, right? So you need to understand the person responded, if he's cold, if he's energetic, if he's in a bad mood. I don't know. He could have gotten out from a bad conversation and I call him at a very wrong time. That cold call is going south in so many ways. Right? So you need to have that situational awareness that when you call, how you gauge from the voice and how clearly you have to be direct, you have to be clear, you have to be engaging, you need to sound energetic. I can't be on a cold call like, hey Victor, how are you today?
Yeah.
Would you like to? No, what that energy is not going to work. I have to be in there. I need to be switched on. I need to gauge the situation. I need to gauge the voice. I need to understand where that person is. Is he on the same level as me? If a person is calm on the other end, I need to sort of mirror that. Talk to him in a similar way. Grab their attention, do your homework, talk relevant things, and then sign off on a positive note or have a call of action. Same thing with emails.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, looking forward to. So you put the words in their mouth. You go like, yeah, looking forward to your response.
It's like I need to apply that on this business that I'm doing, right?
Definitely.
I've not done code call before. Trying to pitch people on possible sponsorship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, why not? I think you've got over 300 videos. You're heading in the right direction. You've got great people like the guests you've got on. That's something very, very nice.
Yeah.
Not everyone is doing that. And I'm sure if you sort of tap into this and do the cold calls, you'll have to qualify first. You can't just obviously, cold call everybody. You need to sort of sit down, filter through your list, understand who is the people who you want to work with.
Yeah.
Who is the right people, your audience. It has to be relevant. And then you do the cold calls. You sit down like, hey, hi, this is Victor. I run the Vic Influential podcast. It would be great if we can sit down, have a conversation that we could discuss business together. We could explore more opportunities together. So the right wordings and stuff. It's just how can I say, making conversation rather.
With your research, you know how to go about it. Yeah,
100%. Research is very important.
It's always good.
Because if I don't know about the person, the conversation will be very awkward. And it'll have those awkward silences like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It has to be smooth. It has to be streamlined.
That is great. So I was going to ask you, how do you approach a cold call? A cold call. How do you approach it?
All right. So it'll be, hi, my name is Reza. I'm calling from X company, blah, blah. The moment, a person who I'm calling, I know I've qualified him already in my mind. I know that he's into luxury travel. So I will ask him that, I'm calling from X. I do private jet charters and premier lifestyle experiences. Maybe if it's a gatekeeper. So gatekeeper, like it's a secretary or somebody, his travel coordinator or someone. They're like, okay, send us your profile. All right, great. I'll do that. So I'll do that. After the cold call, 24 hours later, I'm going to follow up with an email. I don't have to be annoying.
Yeah.
A small, simple email of acknowledgement done. 7 days later, I'll follow up with a call. Or else, 11 to 18 days later, I'll call again. Why? The person possibly not interested, possibly forgot about my email because they're very busy.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to understand them. I'll call. Why 11 to 18 days? So I'm just going away from their mind. And when I call back, so I'm not annoying anymore. Right.
Yeah.
And I can lead the conversation that, oh yes, we had spoken last week. Since you fly, I provide these services. It would be great to have a chance to step in and assist with your next flight. Oh, yeah, but we're not flying right now. That's great. Or maybe they go like, oh, but we're very happy with our current suppliers. Brilliant. I understand that. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
And you never know. In the future, it would be great to work together. Oh, yeah, we'll let you know. Thank you so much. So you have to be graceful. You have to be graceful when you're rejected. You have to be super graceful. Take it on your chin, accept it. And because you've signed off on a good note, the next time, let's say this time 21 days later, you call back, they'll still be open to a conversation. Oh, you know what, Rez? We're still flying with them. We're very comfortable. But you know what? Send us a quotation.
Okay.
We want to fly from A to B. Send us a quotation. So you see, persistence is key.
Yeah.
You need to be persistent in not an annoying manner. Yeah. Don't start stalking them and be like, oh yes, I saw you were flying from A to B. Like, why are you keeping tabs? Why are you keeping tabs on us? So it's good. That information is for you. But you can't, sort of tell them that you're stalking them. No, don't do that. That's just wrong. That can come under harassment.
Yeah. So what is the possibility of closing people like this?
It starts with a 50-50, to be honest. I'll be very, very honest. So if you want one acceptance, you have to go through at least, I'll be very kind when I say 10 rejections. It's way more than that.
Yeah.
If I want 10 acceptances, I need to go through at least 100 rejections.
Yeah.
Now, let's say I want 100 acceptances.
No, I've come to understand that you will always get rejection.
Oh, 100%.
But it's not, it's part of it.
It's part of growth.
It's part of it. Keep going.
How do you, when you see a polished stone, right? We see the polished stone that, oh, wow, it's so polished. Do you have no idea how much it's rolled and been kicked around and it's eventually become smooth?
Yeah, and this is, before we start this podcast, we talked about Joe Rogan, right? And the amount of people that he always got on his podcast. He does podcasts every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's doing every day?
Yeah, I think so. I think he releases up to 5 videos in a week. I think so, yeah. He does. Tomorrow you will see, next tomorrow, I will see 16 hours, 11 hours, 3 hours.
They spend a lot. See, those gentlemen, they spend a lot of time. And people don't understand the energy that goes behind this.
Yeah.
Obviously, they see the final product, standard procedure, and they appreciate it. But they don't see the, the grind which is going on in the background, where you're constantly trying to come up with, to keep the conversations as natural as possible through the homework. So the homework is the research, You're sitting here asking me these questions. You've sat down and you've studied a bit about aviation to be able to ask these questions. It's not just coming out of the blue. So there is research, and then that research, and then how you pace the conversation. All of these things matter. It's not easy.
I told my last guest, Radar, that's okay.
Right.
Yeah, right now the finance is not coming.
Yeah.
But the knowledge I am getting from all the guests that are coming to my podcast is nothing more than diamond. Because
now I've been watching it as well.
See, like right now, I have got to understand that there's something called cold call
Yes.
and how you should go about it. So there is no way. I also thought, just like we said about Joe Rogan, right? The amount of knowledge he has acquired from the amount of guests that he's been getting and the kind of guest or the quality of guests he's been getting, right? So now, Vic Influential, I try as much as I can to get the guests that will impact something in my life and also to the people that are listening. This is the crazy part because I will be search on LinkedIn, so many places I will search to see go profile, or if I'll just put the person's name I see somewhere on a Google to see where and where it's going to pop out and things I'm going to read about the person,
Right.
So because I try these people that we're mentioning now, PBD, this is the people I am watching and I want to go
These
toe
guys
to
are
toe with. It's gonna take time.
eventually. See, because let's just say consistency, right?
Yeah.
So hats off to you. You've been doing this for a while, and people don't realize that, of course. But you've been in the game. You've been doing it for a while. You've got over 300 videos online, and there's consistency. Consistency pays off, right?
Yeah.
It's not overnight. People will eventually tell you that. Oh, you know what?
When did you start?
Yeah, no, you just
Go and see the videos, man.
exactly. So it happens. It takes time. It's work in progress,
Yeah.
and I can definitely say that you're headed in the right direction. And it's amazing to be here. Sit down, talk. It's a great platform. The people you've gotten on, they've been amazing. A lot of them are high ticket closers, like the gentleman who does the real estate, and there's a few other businessmen you've gotten on here. It's amazing. And the best part is that you don't just cover business, you get the philosophies of life and everything involved, and like you did the fitness one with Rada. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. You need to don't it's good to have a niche, brilliant. But if you just continue talking about the niche, it gets boring.
You burn out.
Yeah.
So that is the idea, to be versatile and more especially. It doesn't matter what you're speaking, but let everything that you addition out be nuggets.
Yes.
When if somebody come and sat down to listen to your guest or what the conversation you guys are having, let it be quality conversation, and somebody will always get something from this. If it's somebody is just watching what we're saying, okay, let it be that the person is not interested in charter flight. Let it just be. But from every conversation that we're having, like I just said right now, the person will always get something from what we just said. If it's business or how to follow up or how to build a relationship with your client, or I want my business to grow, but I don't know, I'm just starting. Okay. You need to be kind to anybody that comes to your shop. Talk
You
with
need
them.
to always conversations.
Yes.
Conversations go a
Yes.
long way. Conversations go a long way as long as you have structured implementation to it. We can talk about it, right? But if somebody is not going to apply or implement it, not making sense.
Yeah.
So, for example, coming to cold calls, relationship building, you're doing the calls, be consistent. Number one, track them. Understand how many people you've sent emails to, understand how many people you've connected with. Make notes, follow up, see what they've said. See if you've had a rejection, keep that in mind and try to rephrase the pitch, So there's so many variables which will keep changing. So don't fall in love with the product, because many people have a script. Brilliant. That's a great guideline. Brilliant. Don't stick to it. You need to keep personalizing it every time you speak to a new person. So there's different approaches. You do your emails. Do in the morning, sit down, do your emails. Have a look if there's any requests, any something pending in the morning for us as charter brokers. If there's a flight overnight, I need to be on board with my operators. Check with them, permits, guys, everything in place. Yes, Raza. Okay, brilliant. In the afternoon, sit down. Do some what do you call follow-up emails, etc. Meetings. The professional socializing, the meetings and everything in the afternoon. You have your lunches, you have your coffees with potential clients and everybody. Then in the evening, you do the networking and socializing for the growth of the business. Attend events, see what's happening around town. keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. See, is there a real estate event happening? Is there a launch happening? You know, is there like Dubai boat show happened?
Yeah.
Go there. Go to the boat show. You'll find a lot of high ticket people over there. You'll find see, a lot of people have that bad attitude that they don't have the patience. Oh, they go there, oh, it was a waste of time. Of course, because if you have it in your mind that it's a waste of time, 100% is going to be a waste of time. You either learn or grow.
Yes.
Cool? You either learn or you grow. So if you're thinking that was a waste of time because you went in there with that mentality, or you were not switched on enough to identify opportunities, or you did not, it's the story of sour grapes, to be honest. I'm so sorry to put it that way. But if somebody goes to such a show and comes out, and I've heard that, they come out, they're like, but it's for yachts. I was like, yes, it's for boats, it's for yachts, but do you see the kind of people?
The quality
the quality of people over there.
Yeah.
Like, how can you say that it's not related? So you see, there's many people don't do the homework, unfortunately, and this is what happens. And then they complain that, oh yeah, you know, but I went there, wasted my time. They're like, yeah, well, okay.
But another thing is, if you go there and you did not meet somebody, it's also part of the business.
I'll tell you something very interesting. See, so whenever any of these shows happen, right? What did I say? Research is important. Sit down, check the exhibitors list. Who's coming? Who's attending?
Well, how can you get your hand on there?
It's there on their website.
Okay.
MEBA happened, correct? MRO happened. You register. There's an exhibitors list so that people who are attending, they know who to go and see. There's a list of exhibitors. Sit down, go through that cold approach. See who you want to target. Look at those companies, search them up. Have some background on them so that when you go to their stall, you know what you... Thank you. So people don't do that.
I hope you're listening.
So there's just go through the exhibitors list, man. Just I don't know, go YouTube, just go on YouTube, check what's happening. Look at because see, on YouTube, what's gonna happen if it's the Dubai boat show? What's gonna happen? The people in that video of the promo are probably bigger brands.
Yeah.
It's basics, man. It's basics.
I wanna ask you. I don't want to take much of your time. I want to ask you, the high VIPs.
Yeah.
How do they prefer you communicating with them? Is it email?
See, if you're directly in touch with them, it's directly over calls or WhatsApp.
Okay.
When you're directly in touch with them, even their gatekeepers, like for example, it's a travel coordinator or somebody, because they want everything spot on, right? They want it instant. They're done. Speed is important. I cannot ask you a quotation and then wait for like 12 hours.
Okay.
No, that's not how. The speed is of the essence. Okay, clarity, speed, all of these things are very, very, very important. So if somebody's you have a secretary, you tell her that, yeah, you know, X, I want to fly from A to B. She gets in touch with me like, Rez, we need solutions now. In the next, let's say 1 hour, I provide you 5 to 6 options. I'm not going to sit over email and send you no. Yeah, we have technology. Yeah. Technology is there to be used for positivity, for productivity, right? Yeah. And if we make the same technology become an obstacle to go through the bureaucracy and an email has to be sent, it's slowing things down. Time is money. Yeah. We can't let, you're losing time, it messes everything up. So people who are smart, who are efficient, they will definitely be more comfortable communicating over instant messaging. And especially once you see the emails are important. It's a brilliant part of the professional corporate system. Agreed. Yeah. Amazing. Now, how fast would it be if I type an email WhatsApp and send you? Sometimes emails go to junk. Sometimes I'll send an email, it still hasn't reached my end user. And he's like, Rez, I did not receive your email. I'm like, but I've sent it. He's like, but I haven't received it. Now I can't have an argument with him. Yeah. I have to send him another email. So Sometimes, God forbid, it happens. I'm sure everybody listening to this right now, they have somewhere or the other in their
It has
corporate
happened
life,
to me. It has happened to me.
they've sent an email without an attachment. It happens. So that's waste of time. So let's not get into that. I agree. It's part of the corporate culture and professionalism. I'm all for emails. I love sending emails. But when a conversation is going on, it has to be instant. Has to be instant.
These high tech individuals. This how do you pitch a private jets charter for
Talk
them?
to them about transferring money with crypto. It makes sense to them, right?
Sorry.
Talk to them about transferring the money or
With
payments
crypto.
with crypto, because that makes sense to them.
But
they're like, oh, tech savvy, blah blah. Like, cool.
But it's not everybody's into crypto.
No, not everybody. There are a lot. Definitely, crypto is one of the ways of making instant payments. We receive a lot of the companies. They receive payments in crypto, which is great. However, I'm still trying to understand it. But people who are doing it, clearly they're thriving, which is great. Good on them. A lot of the companies have now started to accept money, crypto payments. Yeah. So it's happening. See, all of these things, it's made for convenience, and it's happening, which is great to see. Now imagine I do a wire transfer. It's going to take 3 to 5 days. You need to fly in 72 hours. Crypto, credit card, cash. I always say cash is king.
So, I don't think most countries in Africa is not accepting crypto. I don't think so. My country is not accepting.
Well, that's okay. That's fine. If they're accepting cash, that's brilliant. That's okay. Crypto is not at the moment, due to a lot of misinformation around it, due to a lot of unregulated. It's not regulated, right? So I'm not an expert on it, so I can't really talk about it much. But from what I hear from a lot of the clients and people who are doing it, because it's so unregulated, right? And there's little awareness, little education around it to the mass public. And most of them have had bad experiences while trying to dabble in crypto. And it's just something misunderstood at the moment. That's what I can say about crypto. It's something highly misunderstood. And people who are understanding it, clearly they're doing really well.
Okay, let's get into the technical part a little bit. I want to understand, how do you structure a charter sales? How do you structure?
Identify the need, number one. So you get on call and you understand what the need is. If it's a team who is flying, if it's a family, so I'll ask those questions. Are they flying for an event, for a destination wedding or something? So understand, ask questions. The more you ask, the more you know. So ask those questions, understand if there's a budget involved, if there's no budget, if there's a specific aircraft. What are the timings of flight? Do they want in-flight catering? Of course, on the jets, there's usually in-flight catering, which is, some gourmet food, etc., etc. So we ask, are there any allergies, etc.? So from my end, I'll ask all the questions.
Allergy is a big issue.
Oh yes, God forbid somebody has allergy to nuts.
Big issue.
They have food had nuts or crushed, I don't know, peanut oil. So you have to be super careful, especially dealing with high net worth. So you ask as many questions as you can, relevant questions, of course. You ask relevant questions, and then obviously you curate from their arrival to departure, to the food, to the arrangements, to having, or maybe it's a birthday or something on board. Have some flowers available on there, but create a small gift. So for me, a structure is identify the needs, identify what they want, the purpose of travel, how many people are flying, is there luggage, do they smoke, internet. I need to understand, because not all aircrafts have internet. So there are various things. So you need to keep all of them in mind. And then from your end, do everything and inform the client, please, that yes, this is doable, this is going to happen, provide the solution. Don't tell them, oh yes, you want to fly 4 people, brilliant, done, here's the quotation. Everybody's doing that, right? Be like, yes, we have a Praetor 600, 2023, or a Pilatus 24, 2023. These are the pictures. Have a look at it. And also note that there will be in-flight catering. What do you like eating? Is there a special request? Ask questions. The
It's
more you
always.
ask, yeah, it's service. You're in the service industry. Like many people go like, what do you do? Go like sales, and people look down on you, and then you go like, yes, I sell aircrafts, and then suddenly the dynamic changes.
I get.
You see?
Yeah.
So these things are very, very important. The more you ask, the more you know. Don't be annoying. Don't ask them personal questions. Just something so small as, what's the purpose of the flight? Oh, we're going for a vacation. Brilliant. Cool. Kids on board? Yes. Okay. Is there infants? So just ask these basic questions. Understand. Understand. Many people, oh, we like to smoke on board. Okay. Inform them. There will be added charges. Some operators, it's already inclusive in the price. Some operators, there's added charges. So I need to ask the operator, guys, is the price included? Yes, Rez. Okay, brilliant. We can have smoking on board. Do you need something extra? Do you need food? Do you need drinks? Whatever. Whatever, because they're paying so much. So we need to personalize it as much as possible.
And these high net individuals, they always want to smoke maybe cigars.
Not necessarily. Some people are, we might think that most of them smoke, but no, that's not the case.
Where do they network?
Oh, they network in mostly private clubs or high class events. So let's say the Maidan horse race, the World Cup, the horse racing World Cup, or let's say the Monaco Yacht Show in Dubai, boat show, the MIBA, the certain events have like a whiskey launch at Capital Club Dubai, DIFC. So you need to keep your ears and eyes open for where are these events happening. Maybe there's a designer who's launching his new design.
Yeah.
There's something which happened in Dubai Design District, and for men's rings with precious stones and stuff. So you need to art galleries, art events. You might not like art, but your client does.
Yeah.
So you need to know some basics, do your homework, know a couple of art galleries, go there, socialize with them, visit it, understand, get a feel, get a taste of what their taste is. You don't necessarily need to like it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the concept is of working in a football team. 11 people don't like each other.
Of course.
They respect each other and their abilities and work towards the same goal.
Yeah.
So I don't need to like the client's interest, but I need to understand his interest in order to curate that experience. Many of my clients like caviar. Brilliant. I know.
But you don't like it.
I don't know. I think it's like acquired taste. It's like oysters. It's one of those things. It's acquired taste. Like, for example, I never liked whiskey when I was young, and then I developed taste for it.
Yeah.
So you see, it's acquired taste.
You don't like sushi?
Well, I've had experiences with sushi. It's recent. I fell in love with it after.
You like cooked food?
Well, see, I now I do eat uncooked food as well. However, there was a time. It took me a while to develop taste for sushi, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had.
I like sushi. But it's not all. I like it. I started eating it because I'm a chef, right? Sometimes and oyster also.
Oyster.
I cannot eat it without
oysters.
Vinegar.
Oysters was a very, very interesting thing. I'll even say one of my best friends' wife. I took them when they got married, so we went to Gaia, sat down, and she's like, "Rez, have you tried oysters?" I was like, "No, I think that's not for me." She's like, "Wait, I'll prepare it for you." So she prepared it, and she told me, she like, specifically, don't bite into it.
Okay.
Right?
Just suck it in.
Yeah. Just sort of just swallow it. And I was like, okay. But me being me, right? I'm adventurous. I bit into it, and it was just like a mouthful of seawater. I was like, and she's like, "You bit into it." I was like, "Yeah." I wanted to understand what all the hype is about.
Yes.
So yes, these are acquired tastes. Now I do like a lot of things which I previously did not, of course. But you have to be open to that experience. Similarly, coming down to clients, you might not understand watches. Understand it. I'm not much for watches, but I do get involved in. I know some of the greatest places which sell watches, some of the greatest dealers who sell watches in Dubai. Why? Because I need to have that in my network in order to be that service provider. I don't need to like everything. I need to understand everything.
Yeah. Okay. That is a good one. I understand that private charter is about a relationship.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dealing with people day to day is like your daily activities. Or well, let me say what you're going to do with your friends, right? So private aviation or private charter, or what you are into is both basically and mostly just relationship
Yes,
dealing with people.
mostly because it's like, see, the people who fly charters, right? They're not sitting in front of social media, right? They, it's their secretaries and everybody who are arranging it for them. So you need to network in the right places, with the right people. Eventually, sometimes you run into the decision makers, at such events, which is great. That's why you need to try to be present. Be present. There's a lovely story. We, as kids, when we were growing up, we heard that story. It was about a very humble background gentleman in India, and he would always go to the Taj in Bombay to have tea, which would back then cost him 50 rupees. He would ask his friends for money, go to the Taj, sit down, have tea, and read a newspaper and socialize with the people over there. And he would do that very regularly. Investing, consistency, investment, support from the home team, correct? Eventually, he became a great businessman while utilizing that network. So you have to, there's a lot of things you need to know where to go to socialize. It's not going to come for free. If you're attending events, you have to give in order to get. If you're sitting there for a shortcut, yeah, it happens to some people. I'm not going to take that away, because at the end of the day, what's written is going to happen. But for some people, it happens in ways not understandable. For some people, it's more practical. They go through the grind. Some people are present at the right moment, at the right time. So you can't call them lucky, because they also have worked hard at the end of the day, because see, luck can only last so long. But if you're not competent enough to pull it off in the long run, it's only that you can be lucky as many times. So don't rely on luck too much. Give yourself that confidence, believe in your abilities, because you can't keep getting lucky. And eventually, you see it happens everywhere around us. Talent is useless if it's not working hard.
Yeah.
You get it? We see it all around us. So we have social media, we have everything on our fingertips, technology, platforms like this. Educate yourself, self-development. When it comes down to clients, networking, homework, socialize in the right way, in the right place, right? Because for example, if I keep going to, many people have this misconception, right? So they'll pick up one thing and they'll forget the other. Oh, but they ran into somebody in a club. Be like, yes, that club was in some private membership place. You can't compare that to some club in a random broken down bar. You get it?
Yeah.
So that relevance has to be there. That relevance has to be there. Like imagine going down to the Godolphin Stables event. Godolphin is Sheikh Mohammed's horse racing team. You go to that event to socialize, and then let's go down to, let's say, some place in India where people own horses. Yes, that's great. Amazing. Horses are beautiful animals. But you see the difference in they're horse owners as well. They're horse owners as well.
Yeah.
Right? But they're horse owners as well. You need to identify and qualify where you need to be. Because many people might be putting in the effort in the wrong place. Like, remember last time I said, perfect practice makes perfect. You need to know where to channel your energy. Yeah. You need to know, you need to qualify. So our elders used to tell us, so if you don't understand anything, ask somebody who's already doing it. I can't ask somebody about travel who's never left his house.
It's not possible.
There's no relevance to that. There's no relevance to his speech regarding that.
You don't want to know about his dreams.
Because he's never left. He's never left home. So what is he going to tell me about travel? He'll be like, oh my God, bad experiences. Somebody who's traveled, he would say, no, you know what? Step out, go, explore. Similarly, so if you're doing something, ask. Get in touch with another broker. Get in touch with somebody who's doing the same field. Get in touch with somebody from fitness. Not everybody will be supportive. That's
Of
the
course.
first reality check you get.
Yes.
No, everybody is supportive. But then you keep observing and you're seeing that what's happening, who are the more supportive people, who are more open to conversations. There might be, you'll come across a lot of people who give information in their own style. You might feel that they're holding information, but they're giving you just enough. And then, of course, there are people who will try to misguide you as well. So you'll come across all types of people, but don't lose yourself in that journey. If you're doing something, be consistent, keep your head down, keep focusing, keep working hard, keep self-developing, keep socializing, make yourself sociable enough. You know, if you have fear of talking to people, I don't know, join a sports team. Go to somewhere where there's team sport. There's clubs and stuff in Dubai now, or anywhere for that matter, anywhere in the world. Go, I don't know, take up a team sport. It'll help you get rid of that. Yeah. So, and now there's many things coming up, like, you know, support groups and men's groups and women's groups to socialize and stuff like that, which is great. You know, it's
coming up in Dubai.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few in Dubai, and I think it helps those men and women who might have some reluctancy to, for example, bachata classes, dance classes. Join that. It's happening in Dubai. One of my friends, he's very shy, but he goes to the bachata classes. Why not?
What kind of dance?
I don't know. It's one of the. Clearly I can't dance. I don't understand dance.
You've not tried.
But see, I don't understand dance, but I know names of dances,
Okay, what
right?
if
I know where it's happening.
Maybe you come to my podcast next time and I try to teach you African dance.
Disaster, bro. Man, I've got 2 left legs. I can't dance to save my life. Shit.
Wow, this is a good one. This is a good one.
That would be terrible.
It has really been a blast today. I don't know how long I've taken from your time today.
No, man, it was a pleasure. I didn't feel the time at all.
Yeah, but I gained something. I gained something massive today. Something that is going to help me in life. And I'm going to hold it very tight. And try to utilize it. Try to socialize. Try to go to the event. When you were speaking about event, I just realized a few days ago what I missed. I went to this Imam house lunch.
Yeah.
Their latest lunch. I was there. I saw somebody.
Nice.
But I did not move. I did not call it anything. I did not even try. When you were saying this thing, I just realized, Victor, why didn't you try?
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Say no.
And that was my philosophy. Highest will happen is no.
Yeah,
just say something.
Just go introduce yourself.
I saw Mo Vlog there. He was there.
Ah, okay. This recent. Okay, understood. Because some of my real estate friends were there as well. Okay, understood.
So
that recent launch which happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that was last week, right?
Yes, something like that.
I was there and I saw him. I did not say anything. Next time I will not.
There's one I see. You know, Nas.
Doesn't matter who it
you know
is.
Nas Daily, right? So they have their own little Nas Villa, and they hold some events over there. I've attended one. I think it's a great place to socialize for, you know, people who are into social media marketing, influencers like yourself, podcasts. So keep an eye out.
Of course.
Attend.
I will. All right. Thanks for today.
Pleasure.
Thanks for today. I hope we will see you again. I hope we'll meet you again.
100%.
Hopefully getting your nugget once in a month. How is that? You make a time for us?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm up for this.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Pleasure. My pleasure.